Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. We have some news for the end of the week. Well, one thing, it's not part of the news, but are you enjoying the mysterious red dot? I presume it's something with the Lemonisi chase gone wrong. But yeah, there's this beautiful red dot that won't go away. So yeah, that's not. I think that was the top comment by far in my video yesterday. Was what's this damn red dot? Which is funny. Now, we've got information on the Summon Rush event, which is coming tomorrow, which is obviously part of the Crocad Fusion. First up, though, this is a second piece of news, which is cool for the people that are affected. So, we've received lots and lots of feedback regarding powerful clans teaming up against other players in Classic Arena Platinum tier. While this tactic is totally understandable, we want to ensure the Platinum tier remains a fair and open challenge. Thus, Shadow Phase will be introduced in the next update. It will be activated bi-weekly on Monday at midnight UTC and last for 8 hours before the arena reset. All information about your opponents in the Platinum tier will be concealed for the duration of the Shadow Phase. No usernames, no clan tags to identify the owner of the team you're about to fight. This way, it will be up to your personal arena setup rather than membership in specific clans. So that's cool. First of all, I will say bi-weekly, this is, the bi prefix is probably my least favorite prefix in the entire English language. This is so bad because it's just a flaw in the English language. Bi-weekly can mean both every 2 weeks, but also twice a week. It can mean both of them. Both are perfectly valid. Which means it's a terrible word because you have to sort of determine from the context. I think from the context of this is every 2 weeks. And they did confirm in the content creator chat that it is every 2 weeks that this will happen. So you'll have a week of just old school Platinum Arena and then a week with a 8-hour Shadow Phase before the end of it. I think it sounds cool. Again, for me, this doesn't affect me at all. Like, I don't really have any much interest in Platinum. But like there's the whales and the krakens, right? They're funding the game. They're letting normal players play the game, and that's great. And if whales and krakens are going in, and you just find that I'm just being ganged up on, and I can't actually participate in the arena, that sucks. So yeah, I think it's fair. I think like a shadow thing as well. It's more about the actual champions and the teams than about fighting particular players. I think that's good. So yeah, and I think it's also kind of interesting that it's every second week. That's also kind of cool as well, I think, because it means that if you don't like this new Shadow Phase, well, you can do every second week. And if you do like it, you've got every second week then to do it. And it also mixes it up. If you like both of them, well, then you've got two quite different experiences for Platinum tier every week. So that's cool. So yeah, nice update to Platinum Arena. Yeah, I don't know. Just check out the Supreme Club forum or something to see how people feel about it, I guess. But I just said I'd fill you guys in. Now, we also have a 72-hour progressive chance event for the weekend, and there's pretty good champs in here. It's revivers. It's all about revivers, and yeah, for a fusion especially, it's pretty great. Yeah, I mean, if you're summoning for a fusion, there's a pretty good chance you could use these revivers. So hey, here we go. We have from your regular non-void charts, Elva, Prava, Glaikid, Pythion, and Duchess Lilitu. They're all super strong. I would be slotting all of them in to Faction Wars hard, no problem. I will say Elva and Glaikid are both from the same faction. That's a little bit of a tricky choice. Which one do you prefer? I think that Elva, because she brings lots of healing, is probably easier to fit into like Chimera. Better as well for Arena. It doesn't want to load. Here we go. Better for Arena. And I actually do use Elva for Faction Wars, and I'm clearing stage 21 on auto with the faction. So she is cool. Glaikid, I think he has some potential teams for Chimera because he brings so many buffs, right? So many buffs. And he's very, very good for Hydra, where the healing's not quite as important. But he also brings you a damage boost, which is cool. And he's one of the rare champions in the game that brings Perfect Veil. So yeah, he's really, really strong as well. But not as good defensively, but like in terms of offense, he's very good. So I think it's a tough choice between the two. I'm going to put them as equally valuable. I think it depends on which is going to fit you more and what you need. Python, I'd say Python is not quite as good overall, but he's still super good. I might mark him down a little bit. Um, Python is even more defensive, which is usually overkill, is sort of the way of it. But he is absolutely god tier for faction wars. But yeah, he has the full debuff removal and block debuffs like Elva does, whereas Elva, though, gives you increased speed. He gives you a massive heal. And then he's got a good heal on his A1. He's got a team revive on his A3 and damage reduction passive. Like I said, I use Elva a lot more than I use Python and in many more places. But Python is really strong for situations where you've got lots of debuffs coming in, where you're just really trying to stay alive. So I do think Elva is better, but Python is super. Preva and Duchess, then we got two Demon Spawn Revivers. So again, competing. I don't have either one. I'd probably prefer Duchess because of the Perfect Veil being a bit more of a unique buff. It's quite a rare buff. Very few champions. I still use Rector Drath. I still use Rector Drath a bit for Hydra because of the Perfect Veil. Brava brings you increased defense, increased speed, and a big healing. She definitely feels like maybe a bit more niche than the others because she doesn't have the debuff removal or block debuffs, which is typically what you're looking for. But increased defense and speed, big heal. She's got a really solid single target revive. And then her A1 is kind of fun with her passive where she takes debuffs off your allies. Instead of like doing debuff removal or cleansing, she has this, transfers one debuff from each ally to her. And then at the end of her turn, she does a big turn meter boost for your whole team, which is cool. And then she can throw debuffs from her over onto the enemy with her A1. So she's kind of funky. She's got some funky stuff going on. I would personally put Duchess as, you know what, very slightly behind Glaikid and Elva, actually, and I put Preva same as Python. So that would be my rankings would be like Duchess and Glaikid joint first. Sorry, Elva and Glaikid joint first. A slight second to Duchess, and then the third, a close third to Python and Preva. That would be my order. These two first, then Duchess, then those two. But let me know what you think. Again, a lot of it also depends on what you need, you know? Like if you already have Glaikid, you might be saying, whoa, well, I've got Glaikid. Well, Elva is so much better for me. Even Python would be better for me than Duchess. I don't need the Duchess. I've got Glaikid. So it depends. Whereas if you're missing them, yeah, you might say, I don't want Elva. Glaikid's so much better because I need someone with Perfect Veil. So it sort of depends what you need, but they're both very, they're all really good. Now, Senna, Sylvie, and Raka. So Raka is the weakest. Raka be something along here. Like Raka is, I think it's one of those weird things. Sorry, she's not this. She's in the Orcs faction. One of the weird things, like a lot of the Void Revivers kind of suck. The other two here are the good ones, but most of the other ones kind of suck. Like I'd say these 5 Revivers are generally as good as, if not better than most of the others. Raka is very similar level to these sort of champs. So she comes in, she has a team revive and block debuffs. Now, she does this even if there's nobody dead, in which case it's just block debuffs on your team on a 4-turn, which is kind of shit. This move, in my opinion, definitely should get a bit of a buff. This should do something else because it's weird. Like, she should maybe bring them back 50% HP, 25% turn meter, and then this should do 25% more turn meter for your whole team with block debuffs or something like that. So it could be a big turn meter boost. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's underwhelming. Now she also has full debuff removal, increased attack, and a big shield. Her A1 heals. Her passive does a turn meter boost every 2 turns, which is cool. And then it also just putting out continuous heals as well. So she's fine. She's good. I think she's got a place for Chimera, right? She's got the shield, which is nice. She doesn't have Perfect Veil, which is not so important for Chimera. So I'd say she's like worse than Duchess for Hydra because of the no Perfect Veil. But like she's pretty decent. Yeah, like she is. I put her. I'd be putting her kind of the same as like Python. Like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a tough sell. Now, Senna and Sylvie are both phenomenal. I would put Sylvie as higher than the rest, and I'd actually put Senna. For me, Senna takes the lead. In fact, let me do this with yellow so we can see a bit of a difference. I guess I should use purple, huh? But for me, Senna be number 1. Sylvie number 2. and Shibi number 3, a good bit behind. So Sifi and Senna are the two best Void Revivers, I'm pretty sure. Sifi, bit more arena focused. She does struggle a lot against supersonic sets. And she also struggles against temporal chains, the blessing. Several champs do, but she's particularly vulnerable because she puts out so many buffs in one, and her turn meter increase is quite weak. But this move has so much value in it. Again, you do get 3 exceptional buffs. She's got a really strong revive as well. She's got a good passive, got a very good A1, although the Wand of Submission, again, does mess that up a bit. And, pinpoint sets and stuff, intercept buffs can mess it up a bit. But she's still really, really good. Works very well in protection because then it's difficult to remove the buffs. She's giving you a big damage boost as well. Yeah, Sifi is fantastic. She's really strong. I think Senna is maybe a bit more valuable in 2025, though. So Senna, she's not as good in PvP at all. However, she has big turn meter boost, increased speed, and continuous heals. She has a team revive. What's really powerful about her, though, is when continuous heals activate, she fills the turn meters of all allies by 5%. Fills your whole team's turn meter by 5%. And then she's also increasing the continuous heals. So she gives your team just so much turn meter over time. And she's just insane for Chimera. Now, I'm not... can I see Chimera? Hopefully I can. Yeah. Now, we do have... She's sort of... The crown has maybe been slightly taken away. You probably can run her with Titus, but here we can see like the Titus team. It is now better. But Senna is just phenomenal. And she makes it very easy as well. Makes it very, very easy. But Senna coming in, you can see Theodosia is another alternative. Galathier is good as well, but not as good. But Senna is very often combined with other champs that can provide continuous heals. So Riho does that. Androck is a classic one, and so on. Yeah, she just gives you so many turns against Chimera, and you don't hit the turn limit anyway, that she just gives you tons of damage very, very easily. And yeah, like I said, this is where it gets a bit spicy. Maybe Titus will be terrible for trials, but not even that bad. They still did 9 trials. It's actually still really good. This one did 14. It's better for trials while still doing crazy damage. But yeah, and again, she's a champ you run in 9 pieces of protection to get you even more damage from the buffs. And it's just tons of turn meter. She covers the revive. She's very good for any boss stuff. She's very good for Hydra as well. Though again, if you're hitting the turn limit, she's not quite as strong. So anywhere without turn limits, she's insane. Insane for Dwarves Faction Wars as well. I think she's very good just because she's so strong in Chimera. I would put her maybe a bit ahead, but I can understand. If someone said, nope, I'd rather have Sifi because I care far more about Arena, then I think that's totally fair. But yeah, those would be my rankings of those. I do think these Void Revivers are better. Then I put Elva and Glaikid next with the close second from Duchess, and then Brava, Python, and Raka. I think they're all fairly similar. Yeah, I think they're fairly similar. We've got very good epics as well, honestly. Rector, Drath, Ugo, and Tagore, all phenomenal. They're all so good. Ugo for Hydra. Rector, Drath also for Hydra. Tagore, just general progression in the game. I think Rector Drath is better at keeping you alive and healing than Tagore. But Tagore does bring the increased speed and a team revive, which is pretty cool. But he's got good healing, not as much as Rector, but still good. But it's that increased speed buff, which is great. So like I used him instead of Apothecary in the free-to-play challenge at the start of the year. I thought he's a substantial upgrade there. Yeah, so it sort of depends on what you're looking for. I think that these are all really good. Just pick your favorite. I'm going to say they're all joint first. Like, I really couldn't quite pick between them. These are 3 of the best epics in the game. Godseeker and Ursula are also really, really good. I think that Ursula is probably a bit better overall. I put her slightly ahead, maybe, but only like ever so slightly. And Godseeker, honestly, probably the same sort of rating as these. Yeah, I don't know. I can tell you, from all of these champions, I probably used Ugo and Rector Drath the most on an endgame account. Tagore, endgame, not quite as useful. I still use him for Orc Faction Crypt. He is best reviver there. Godseeker I used a good bit, but not anymore. It's very good for Sand Devil, and Demon Lord, and then Ursula I tend to whip out a lot for Curse City and Faction War. She's really solid. They're all good. It's hard to pick between them. Pick whichever one you need most for your account. You can't really go wrong. Honestly, you can't really go wrong. Uh, yeah, like the nub special choice, I'd be saying, let's give it. I actually like Rector Drath a lot. If you don't have, like I said, I've used Rector Drath. I still use her in Hydra because if you haven't pulled Birol or Glaikid or Duchess, whatever, it's really hard to get Perfect Veil into a Hydra team. Like stupidly hard. She's the easiest option, which is nuts. Ugo also does get, I'd say Ugo and Rector get my vote for being Hydra MVPs that are accessible and actually quite difficult to replace. They've added a few more block buff champions recently, but still, Ugo is nuts. So I'd say those two have just continued Hydra relevance for most accounts. The others are not quite as essential, but they are good again. Yeah. So there you go. That's my thoughts on it. For me, I'm quite tempted to chase the Senna. Chasing Senna is tempting. Or Glaikid versus Duchess. I want Duchess because I don't have her, right? I want her because I don't have her, and I do think she goes very well at Volcanos, which is something cool. Versus the Glaikid. It's a tough one. Obviously, it's only a 15x. I'm not going to be pulling enough shards to realistically for it to matter. But yeah, I'll think about what I'll pick because I do need to do at least some of the summon rush. You do need to do at least some of it if you are doing the fusion. So we'll see, guys. That's it. Let me know what you think about the summon champions. I think this is one of the hardest ones to pick champions. It's really tough. They are all great. These are all some of the better champs in the game that everybody needs. So it's tough. It's a tough one to pick. Let me know what you would pick and why. And yeah, that's it. Let me know what you think about the Platinum Arena thing. Will you do Platinum Arena now and you didn't before? Will you quit Platinum Arena if you were doing it before? I don't know. Let me know. And thanks for watching. Catch you all soon. Goodbye.